Hey, how's it going? I hope that you're doing well. My greatest wish in the world is that we could all live to our full potential and not be trapped by the contraptions of any society because we live in a very controlled environment. We are people who appear in this world naturally, and it's our nature to be natural. So, to be natural is to be native, which is to be naked. So, when Adam and Eve were in the garden, they were naked because they were so natural. There's some beauty, like all of the beauty in life is seen in nature, and all of the beauty is translated in nature, things that are just natural. Nature is just beautiful, and this is what we trade in for the synthetic, the artificial. Like we're in the artificial intelligence age. So many things are so artificial. Our intelligence is artificial, and this artifice does not compare to the natural splendor. So, in anything that we're looking for this organic nature, this truth in society, in like life, how life is just its own natural phenomenon that creates everything naturally as well. So there is power in natural living. There is power in knowing the nature of things, the universal or the natural laws which govern everything. So when we are introduced in this world, what we're only looking for is, all right, we're looking to win because it's a human race, and we're competing, so it ends up being wars, and naturally we want peace. So it's always about peace and harmony. So when we have peace, we have this sign, right? This is peace. And peace has these two fingers that represent one and one. So peace is actually two. So peace means two. Peace means duality. Peace means to be separated from something that is negative. So it's just to say that, like, go away. Like, that's peace. Like, to say, to be separated, to be removed. Now, the problem with peace, or with the word peace, is that when you say peace, it means to not have something, or it means to divide something, because it's a division. This is peace, and you're dividing. So it starts with a not, or it starts with a minus. It starts with a negative. So peace is something that we strive for, but the word peace itself, this peace, means a piece, means one, means one and one, two pieces. Let's have a peace, or let's have world peace, which means that let's have the division, okay, and unity is let's have oneness. So when we have peace, we have a division, two pieces. We have a piece, we have peace. But this is actually a negative connotation to this word because it means to divide, and something that is divided is something that is doubled, or something that is duplicated. So this is diablos, peace, because the war with heaven and earth is a war for peace, which means that it is a division. So it means that there are two sides. There are two sides. So these two sides are fighting. So it's good that prevails over bad. This is the war in the heavens, or the Star Wars. That's what peace is. And we live in a duality because there was this thing that came and cut it in half. That's how it became double. So now, by peace and unity, we want to unite the two pieces. This is peace and unity, or this is peace and harmony. And also, when we say harmony, harmony means to come together, to harmonize. So this is to come together of people, to come together in mind, to come together in actions. But harmony also has harming in it, like harmony. So this is harming, and harmony is musical. And the duablos, or the duality, came because of Diablos, who was a harmonizer. He was actually an angel of music. He made beautiful harmonies. So these harmonies are actually dividing. So harmony also has that negativity aspect in it because it talks about harming people. It's harming, it's harmony. But this is just to understand the dual nature of our universe. Peace is good, it's bad. Peace is harmony is good, it's bad. But this is why I really like the Rastafari concepts of life and how they look at life in a different way, because basically they are Africans and they are in a different place. They're in Jamaica and all over the world. But in Jamaica is where most of the Rastafaris are. In Zim, there are a lot of Rastafaris. Zimbabwe is such an important country in the world because, first of all, this is a kingdom. It's never been a country, never been a state, it's a kingdom. It's a kingdom of Great Zimbabwe. And where I come from is Great Zimbabwe. And this is where the greatness of the whole empire was. This was the capital of the whole of Southern Empire Kingdom. So this was a kingdom. We had so many stretches of countries and lands and people who were conquered through Great Zimbabwe. So when we got legal independence from Britain in 1980, Bob Marley came for a show, a concert, and he actually has a song called Zimbabwe. So this song is also like by the Rastafari of all times, like the greatest, this dude right here. So so he's got it going on, and then he sang a song called Zimbabwe, and you should just listen to the words in that song, how they're so prophetic, how they apply now and forever. So this is, just like how it is. So through this, some Rastafari concepts, or this way of looking at things, the way of looking at life, has always been within the African people and African spirituality, the African place, and in the whole of in the entire continent. So yeah, of course, Zimbabwe especially, because this is the kingdom, the Great Zimbabwe, and this area is a monument. It's actually a monumental place, and this is a very, very strong place. So when Rastafaris are explaining certain things that pertain to life and living, to philosophy of mind, mind over matter, and all of those things, they have decided, or they have discovered, that the words we use are traps. The words we use are spelt or spells. So these actually control our mind subconsciously. So you have to know etymology. And I have a video on etymology, how you can just get started with it and things like that. But then in the Rastafaris, they don't use certain words that have negative connotations, such as saying hello because you're saying hell, such as good morning because you're saying your morning, good morning, have a good time morning. Okay, instead you have to rise up. You don't wake up, you rise up, because arise is to be uplifted, arise. But then to wake is to mourn for people, like when someone dies, and then the wake is like a time when people are commemorating that dead person. And you have a wake, and then you have a good morning, and you have a whole week, just weekend until the week ends on the weekend. So instead of that, they just say like they use other words like like they use uplifting words, because this is how words are used against us. And when you track the usage of words in Rastafaris, you see that the same thing happens in rap and hip hop, which is the biggest subculture in the world. And through this, the rappers are always manipulating words. This is slang. This is ebonics. So through this, they are also changing the meaning of words, because these words are used against us, and we're given these letters and words and concepts so that we are trapped in this matrix. So when you realize the movement is that all of the music comes from the rap music comes from the reggae music, which was later exported by DJ Kool Herc, and they started using the rhythms and rapping on the rhythms, and then through that we have rap and hip hop and all of that poetry, and through this we have the root being the Rastafari culture, which has an inclination towards using uplifting words, and this is hippie. Hippie is hip or knowledgeable. This is the knowledge that they had, because it's a hippie movement. Rasta is a hippie movement. Rap is a hippie movement. Hippies are a hippie movement. but not to be colonized by consumerism, how it's now translated as a hippie movement. No, hippie movement is based in Rastafari movement. It's based in African thought culture. So through this, they have different words, and one of the most important words in the Rastafari culture is livity. So livity is opposed to dieting. So a livit is living it. A diet is dying in it. So when you say you're dieting, it means that you're dying. You're choosing how you're going to die, right? But then when you're liviting, when you have a livit, you're just living it. You're living it up. Okay, this is a different mindset, a different thought process that gets you to livity, and instead of saying we want peace and harmony, we want livity, and we also want something that transforms us, something that informs us, because you're informed so that you can transform. Just like a caterpillar in a cocoon, it's informed inside so that it can transform into a butterfly. So this is why we need tranquility. To have tranquility, to have livity, to have tranquility. To tranquility is like to tranquilize, right? When we have a bad situation, what you want to do is to say, peace, be still, so that you can tranquilize the commotion. This is what we want, to have peace, tranquility, to have livity, to have it in that right sense. Because when I say peace and harmony, what I'm picturing is people who are in a harmonious environment, right? Who are in one accord, atonement, at one-ment. This is what I picture. However, the connotations of these words have some aspects of negativity in them, because peace is duality, and peace is two pieces, and peace means good and bad. It means that you're separating the good from the bad, and separating is not such a positive thing. Uniting, on the other hand, is unity, and that's not peace. This is peace. And this is why Jesus said that I did not come to bring peace, I came to bring a sword, because he's dividing. Because through this division, this is how you separate the lie from the truth, because we live in this dual world. So this is the nature of our existence, that we need peace, because we need to be separated from the darkness, which is the ignorance, not blackness. Black skin is beautiful, but darkness is ignorance. Darkness means something else. Lightness is not whiteness. Whiteness means knowledge, right? That's light. It doesn't mean it's white. It's just light. Light can be black, it can be white. So this is how you have to understand this, that this world is rigged with the words we use. So the words we use are a brook of life. The words we use are a river of life. The words we use are livity. So it's a river of life, literally, because we are made of water. We're water bodies. So everything in life is a form of water. Life is based on water. Water is the nectar of life. So everything that was created on the water, in the water, through the water, for the water. So through this, we have our first element that is basic to our lives, which creates our livity. So life is livity, or life is actually water. So to be water, this is how the philosophy is, that livity, or living it, or living life, is to be I in I, right? The great I am. This is what God said his name was. I am that I am, the I in I. So I am that I am. This is the I in I. So this is living it. So this is always reaching higher, always striving for higher, always doing more. This is life, not making conclusions. And this is also just like water. That water goes with the flow. Like, who goes with the flow? Like these hippies, right? These Rasta hippies, right? They have a righteous way. So they know the righteous flow, the right flow. So this is a way of looking at life and how they actually live. And this is livity, and this is tranquility. Tranquility is transcending. This means you're excelling, you're being more excellent. This is transcending in peace, transcending in prosperity, because prosperity means pro, which is more, and parity, which is balance, more balance. This is to have a tranquil balance, to have a level balance. This is tranquility. So to have peace, to have unity, to have harmony, are all these concepts that in our minds we know what we're saying, but in reality, this is what we're saying. And to have livity, which is a word that's not even in the dictionary, to have livity, to have tranquility, is to have a different state of being. This is to have a different awareness or a different understanding or inner standing, to have a substantial understanding, essential understanding. And through this, we just have a different way of looking at life, because this is the duality universe, the duality world. So it's all about what you're saying what you're not saying. This is the Diablos. It's a trickster. So you have to know this and apply it, because everything is based on this water. This is how we find life. And this water is created in our body, and it's formed through different means and aspects in our mind, in our blood, in our bile, in our glands, in our sweat, in our words. This is all water, vapors or whatever. So we have this humidity in us, which we ascribe to our life. We call it the humidity, or we call it the humors. So the Greeks were educated by the Africans. So one of their Greek teachings or African teachings, which is where they got everything from, was the whole aspect of the four humors, the four waters in the body, which is yellow bile, black bile, blood, and black bile, yellow bile, blood, and the fourth one, which I'm now forgetting, but which is phlegm, which is mucus, which is like thick. So all of these affected different aspects of the person's psychology, temperament, and movement, action, health, everything. So through this, we just have water. This is being divided into the great number 4 again, which creates our mind, physiological, psychological, spiritual well-being. This is from the 4. So through this, where we get livity is through the liver. The liver is Live. It helps you to live. It is the one that survives you. Like, it is the one that levers you up, levitates you, makes you live through the liver. Because the liver has a very fundamental function, which is to remove every toxin in your body. So livity is about that, is about living. And this liver produces what we call yellow bile. And this yellow bile causes a person to become choleric, because this choleric aspect of a person, choleric temperament, means that a person is always angry, a person is always toxic. So too much of this yellow bile, according to them, too much of this would create you to be toxic. But the right amount, which is tranquility, right, the balance, which is the parity, prosperity, which is the balance of this, would actually create you to become a tonic, because now you're able to remove toxins from other situations, other thoughts and things like that. This is livity, and this is part of the moisture in us, and this is part of the waters in us. So this is the choleric aspect that has both negative and positive aspects. Duality, peace. So you have to find peace because it's duality. So this peace means that you're walking, and as you're walking, from the moment you place one foot in front of the other, you have to lose balance, okay, and regain balance, and you gain momentum. And this is how you walk, you run, and you fly. So this is livity, levitation. So you walk, you run, and then you what? You fly. By livity, you will be elevated. This is the word itself. It has so many facets to it. It's not even a real word according to the dictionaries. So this is knowledge. This is how oral tradition was, that we don't need books to have a different understanding of this world. What we need is to have true knowledge. True knowledge is not false knowledge or artificial intelligence. What is that? Artificial intelligence, fake intelligence. And we're afraid that this fake intelligence is going to take over the world. But yeah, this is it. So we have this aspect of mind, soul, and body, and this is livity, living it and being elevated in your heart and in your mind. This is part of the waters in the body. The waters are the ones that are in your body and that direct the flows of everything in your body. And it's all in the 4. The 4, the Yahuwah, which is Jehovah, which is Jah. Jehovah is Jah, right? This is where this concept is embodied. And through this understanding, we have a need to not be toxic, a need to be a tonic, a need to be pure. This is livity. This is not dying or dieting. This is livity. So everything that just comes to you, whatever it is, be it food, has to be giving you life. So some people go to the extent of not eating meat because meat is already dead, right? So they only eat things that are alive, that give them liveliness. And they only take things that are vital to their survival. Vital, which is Ital, which is just the essence of everything, the nectar of life, which is pure, which is water, which just flows, which is abundant. This is Ital. So this is vital. The vital, essential, substantial, understanding. Substantial is understanding. So they are able to understand. That's how they have the substance. Under is sub. Stand is stance. Substance is understand. So when you know the substance of something, it means that you understand something, because you know the substance. So they just look for the substance, and the most controlled substance. All right, now it's being deregulated, but this controlled substance was also linked to marijuana and all of these things. But that is what Ital is in other terms, and Ital is also food. Having the right food, righteous living means it's all round, so it's holy. This is a holy way of living because it's all round. It encompasses your whole being, and this is the whole understanding of it. It's about livity, it's about vitality, right? Vitality, and through doing this, you have what we imagine to be tranquility. Tranquility, like when people have a different set of mind, a set of eyes, and they are balanced in that, like to transcend the mind, is transcendental peace. This is what tranquility is. Transcendental understanding. Substantial. So substantially transcendental understanding of love. This is what it is. This is tranquility. And this is vitality. Okay? And this is the reality that we have. So I just hope that we get to that point as people very soon. And I think we can do it. So I appreciate you watching this, and I hope that your life is going to be filled with livity and tranquility.